A cover crop is something that you, after you've taken off your beans or corn or wheat, it's something you want to put back on the ground to kind of keep that ground green and growing, and keep it lively, I guess. Keep everything working there for you. And you know, there's a lot of benefits there to it. You know, the water, the soil erosion, you got all that crop growing, and then you know, it just the next spring you got all that mulch and stuff there to kind of hold everything together, and it works real well. The benefits I think I've received from the cover crops over the years is we're really noticing a big difference in the organic matter, and the big thing probably in this area is we're kind of wet in this area and the land's flat. The big thing we see is the water infiltration. We can get a, you know, an inch rain, and those fields that's been in cover crops for years, they seem to, the water goes down a little quicker, and it holds the water a little better. And the pest, we've kind of talked to a few of the professors, and the big thing I really think we see on it is some of the cyst nematodes. With the rye over the winter, it seems to really hold those back a little bit, and we have a big problem with those down in here. And the rye just seems to hold those down a lot, and the beans do a lot better when we can control that in the dry year especially. There were a couple of older farmers in the area years ago that started using cover crops, and I just got to talking to them and listening to them. And around here at the time, not many of the farmers were using it, and maybe a few of them were a little skeptical, but I saw that maybe some potential there, and so we started using them, and we're tickled to death with them. We really did well with them. We're standing in a field now that I've used no-till in approximately 10 years, and most of those years I've had a cover crop in it, 7 out of the 10. And my big cover crop is cereal rye I've been using for years, and then also wheat. But it's just one of my better fields probably as far as the years I've had it in the cover crops and the soil texture and everything. There are some challenges with cover crops. With the cereal rye, you tend to, around here, you have to get it out fairly early. For us, if we can get them planted in September, I like to get a lot of growth in the fall, and the earlier the better, just to get that growth, and you're going to get a lot more root system and a lot better looking rye. And you're busy that time of year, and it's a big challenge to really have the manpower to get out there and either broadcast that seed or even drill it. It takes a lot of manpower and a lot of work, but I think it's well worth all the trouble, the extra problems you're going to have for the cover crop benefits. We have a lot of soil compaction here, and I'm wanting to try the radishes to see if maybe we can get you know, some of that broken up and get even roots a little bit deeper. And I've talked to some of the people, and what you read, the mixes seem to be very big right now. So I will try the radishes and probably some of the peas in the next couple of years. And problems with them, I guess I'll get them as we go and kind of see. Hopefully it'll work out. But from people I've talked to, they, you know, they say just try it, and hopefully it'll work for us. The equipment I have right now works real well. We have a air seeder, a John Deere air seeder, and you can pretty well mix the seed up and get it to work through that, and don't have any trouble at all. We also use sometimes just a common fertilizer spreader, and that works real well. I think you have to increase the seeding rates with the fertilizer spreader over the drill, and it depends a little more when you put it on top. You have to have the weather, a little moisture, a couple rains to really get that up good in the fall. So you're taking a little more gamble with the fertilizer spreader over the drill, but I've had good success with both of them. They work real well. If somebody was wanting to you know, get started in the cover crops, the big one I would really recommend is the cereal rye. It's easy. It's easy to get started. It's not real expensive for the seed, and you can also in the spring when you go out there, it's not hard to kill. You can use just a minimum amount of herbicide, and you know, they worry about it getting big and stuff, but it's about the easiest one to use. You can plant through it. It's gonna work real well for you. it's about you know, it's foolproof, I think, as far as the CRI, and that's get started with it, and then maybe move on to some others after that.